Lucy Edwards, Director of Client Success at VHT Studios. And today I'm at Engel and Volkers, Jacksonville office, and my guest is Corey Hasting. Corey Hasting is the broker owner of Engel and Volkers, Jacksonville.
Yes, thank you for having me.
It's a great pleasure to be here. You have such an amazing success story. I read so much about you, and we just visited your other office where you have a very interesting article right there on the wall, 40 under 40. So I think you should be 30 under 30. But let's start from the beginning. How did you get into real estate?
Yeah, so it's actually a pretty funny story. So I played football at Ohio University, and I was with the Cincinnati Bengals for a year, and I got cut. It was December in Ohio, which is, I always joke, is like the worst place on earth to be because it's not too cold for it to snow, but it's hot enough for it to sleet. And so my agent at the time said, hey, if you want to get out of this bad weather, I have a trainer in Jacksonville, Florida, if you want to get down there and get in the sun. So I came down here, didn't know a single person in the entire city, worked out with him, worked out with the Jags, Titans, Dolphins, a couple other teams. But I needed a job that I can create my own schedule. And so at 23, I got my real estate license in a city that I didn't know a single person in, and in a business that I've never done before. But so I got my real estate license, and I wanted to kind of still stay in shape and still work out for teams and do everything. Within 6 months, I actually quit football and did real estate full time. Won Rookie of the Year in my office, and I just knew that nobody was ever going to outwork me. I didn't really care that I was the youngest person in my office by 15 years. I didn't really care that I didn't know anybody in the city. I knew that if I worked hard and made the connections and did everything, the business would come. And it did. And so I opened Engel and Volkers, bought the franchise in late 2017, opened our first location in April 30th, 2018. So we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary.
That is wonderful.
Yeah, it's been exciting.
Yeah, that is. Do you miss sports?
I do. I mean, I miss more the locker room and the competitive nature more so than like the games or anything like that. Some of my teammates are still some of my lifelong friends. And so we talk a lot about the glory days, as we call them. But it's always good to connect with them. And yeah, I think any athlete, misses more the locker room more so than the playing field. And that's what I do.
Well, and now your locker room is at your office with your team.
Yeah.
And I was a witness today of how much you are admired, and you are a great leader. I watched you present and talk about the market, talk about the agent and the importance of being the right agent for the right buyer, the right seller. It's great respect.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, for us, we have such an amazing group. People always ask me all the time, what makes Engle Volkers special? And it's the people, it's the culture that we have. We're ran extremely different than other brokerages locally, where we're the only brokerage in the entire city that doesn't just have a revolving door. Every single person wants to be a part of our firm has to fit 3 main criteria for us. Number 1 is culture. You have to be a full-time agent. You have to have the right, just right people. We want really good people who want to work with other really good people who want to sell real estate. Seems very elementary, but sometimes can be hard to find. Number 2 is you have to sell $3 million or more per year. For us, in our local market, that puts you in the top 10 to 12%. There's about 11,000 real estate agents here locally. So if you're doing over $3 million annually, you're in that top 1,000, 1,200 number. And because for us, we always want to be held to a higher standard. The brand is such an elevated brand, and we want to hold it to that higher standard. And number 3 is the ability to learn new tools and trades. Our brand provides us with amazing technology, amazing marketing. And so just being able to kind of work that into your business, which a lot of other brands don't have or aren't offered. So it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's been amazing for us.